I spent the last couple weeks just taking L's, but let's show you a win. I got it working. So here we go. We're getting right into it. I made a Yarn script that is called CLI that takes an argument, and let me just show you what the help menu would look like once you hit build. It transpiles from TypeScript to JavaScript right now, and then my editor is adding a debugger, which doesn't. That's what's slowing it down a lot. I need to configure that to get rid of it, but it'll be slow the first time, and then I think there's a cache, and after that, it's faster. There we go. Sheesh, that was really slow. So you can build the package. You can add the package name you want to build. I don't think it actually does much with that. And you can decide to skip an environment, or, well, that's it. So we're just going to not even add that optional argument, so I can show you how to pick it using the keyboard. I'm just flexing now. I'm pumped about this. The CLI has been a beast, and it's kind of like it never goes away. But when it works, which it is now, it is so helpful. So I didn't specify the environment, so now it's asking which one do I want to build it for. I have a staging or a production one. The environment variables change based on which one of those you do, and then there's two main packages of the app, and so it's deciding which one to do. Let's do web because that one's faster. So I hit space, it selected it, boom. All right, here's the new stuff. We got italics for like what it's working on currently, and then I have a green color for when it works, and so it's really easy to differentiate what is just a normal output, what's like a question, and what's going on right now. So it's like, okay, we're compiling the web files. That makes sense. So while that's going, yeah. While that's going, I'm going to show you the actual code. Put you down. Let's blow this up a little bit. Oh, too much. It's always a little too much. All right, we'll go with that. Okay, let's see. The colors, let's see. I want to show you the colors because those are pretty cool, man. So I have a util file, which just wraps console log with this chalk library, which adds colors. So I have different messages for different colors, really easy to use. So that's being used all over the place, and it reads really well. I like it. So, okay, those are the colors. Yeah, I think my computer's just slow right now, honestly, because I'm deleting my trash, which probably has gigs of stuff. Anyway, so it's doing all this, and then it's building up the output in memory, and then it kind of, I don't know if it streams it or if it just does it all at once, one big dump to putting it to the console, but there it is. My build is massive at 1.202 gigs, and we'll talk about that another day. But we see, okay, it built the files, and then I have a little orange to say, okay, you probably want to do this next, which are all the things you would want to do if you actually want to deploy it. Awesome. I'm going to do one more for the node packages. Let's do this. This one will take a little longer. I guess that's the theme. But hey, man, this is working. And while that's going, space, enter, let me show you the differences I made. So, of course, we got a PR. And, okay, I like this one here. This is cool because before, what would happen was I would initialize a connection to the MongoDB, and if you were really quick with your typing or the connection, the transpiling was going quick, you could execute a build command before connecting to a database, which you don't need to do while you're building. But for the other command, the delete command, which does access the database, you'd have a race condition and it would fail before you could connect to it. So I'll show you that maybe later, but the point is I'm just wrapping it in a promise. I'm making sure before I do any stuff with the database, I'm connecting, which seems sensible enough, but I just hadn't done it, and now it works, so that's cool. What else we got here that's noteworthy? Yep, we added this. It's just, I made it a little easier to see what's like an optional argument. That's what this is going on with. Zoom in a little. Build and delete. Yep. Here's where we're running the build. Logs. If anyone saw the last video and was like, what actually happened? Like, why wasn't it working before? I had the ordering of the commands wrong, and then I had promises that I had to resolve. I think we might have already seen that. We're checking if a file exists and doing some conditional logic based on how you respond to that prompt. And yep, here's that Mongo service initializing I was talking about. Here's that prompt, one of the prompts. Formatting. And then I realized I found a broken test and I didn't fix it. So that's what that is. Sorry. Anyway, okay, here's that prompt. It's saying, hey, you're trying to build for production, but you don't have a production environment variable. Normally you'd want that, but in scenarios like this, maybe I just want to continue anyway. So I'm going to do that, and now it's copying those into the build directory. Here we go. It's working on this one here. And it's doing its thing. So, hey, this works. I'm pumped about it. I got merge. That's that. Let's talk about what we're going to do today as I get set up a little bit here. View. Chat. Lovely. Today, I'm done flexing. Just the last couple ones were just a grind, and I set aside some time and I did it. So I feel good about that. And I updated the doc site. Cool. Today we're working on another one of the issues that aren't fun when you're doing it, but if it works, it's like the best. So the problem is I use React testing library for integration tests, as everyone does, and for like every test, it's giving me so much output and warning about this act thing, and anyone who has used that knows just how loud and just like nauseating those errors are. So this is just it's building now. That's why it's taken forever. I have one test and hundreds, thousands, I don't know, tens of thousands, probably not that much, of lines of just warnings, and it slows down the test. It makes me not want to write tests and avoid them by commenting them out. And it's just time. It's time because I'm doing a cleanup of the code. Like that's the main big level focus of a project here. It's just like not adding stuff, not complicating. Let's just clean up what I got and make it solid and like a good foundation to build upon. Paying down some debts, basically. Paying down the man for the things I owe him or her. It won't be a her if it was the man. But these are the things I've been working that are in that cleaning up bucket. And let's see. Okay, we can finally move it around. Errors. So the test passes. and it works fine. It's just the act warning that I want to show you. Here we go. It's like you want to wrap it. It says you want to wrap the test in act, but you actually don't. And it's usually a config thing or how you're writing the code, and like maybe for an edge case you would want to wrap it in act. But doing that for every single test is not the solution. Like here, let's see if this works. So I got ahead of myself and I did wrap this in act, which will trigger. I don't know exactly what it does. I forget. Let's just see how that affects the output. So without that await act block, it was yelling at me. Let's see if it still is yelling at me. I'm just running that one test now. Oh, so slow. It is slow. I know it's... Yeah, there it goes. It's objectively slow for everyone, I'm sure. But it's 20 seconds. Jeez. It's really slow now because I'm streaming and I have a lot of stuff going on. Okay, we have a couple things now. So this warning is new, even though the code hasn't changed, except for maybe the dependencies, and it shows up in the console too, which is all about how I'm doing selectors in a not optimal way, but I can live with that. Oh, geez, it's so long. But I'm not getting the act warning. So I don't know if the act was just so big that this other warning was hidden, but this is progress, I guess. Sort of. We're at least confirming that it is something about awaiting and this act wrapper and React testing library. Ideally, I want it to work just like this. I don't want to wrap everything in act. So let's see. While this is going, we're trawling the forums. You know how this works. So this issue's closed. A lot of other people are having it. This was last year. So I kind of I noticed this last year, and then I'm like, let me wait and have these guys figure it out for me, hopefully. So okay. No, that was 2 years. It's 2024 now. Jeez, that was 2 years ago. And then last year he's like fixed it in 14, and I feel like I do have that already. So let's see. I'm on 14. So cool. It's not that. And now it failed because it was just so slow. How can I speed things up a little bit? We're not using the UI right now, so I'm gonna close the web and the back end. That'll speed it up a little bit, hopefully. All right, what else can we do? Because I still got that warning, right? Yeah, same thing. What does it actually say? An update in this component was not wrapped in act. I should wrap state updates in act. But the thing is, it's not just this component. It's like, it's a lot of components because I'm doing a lot of effects for this kind of high level calendar view parent component. There's those sections under it, and each of the sections are like doing effect fetching and things like that. So it's not about just changing the component, I hope. That would be a lot. What else could it be? code that causes React state updates should be wrapped in act. Yeah, it's like just wrap it in act, and I'm like, I don't friggin' want to do that. Okay, it's because it's just in React message. Okay, it's not testing library right in that message, I think. I could be wrong there. That's kind of all we get for like every different component. Another someday section one. Draft, yep. Okay, what else could it be? This guy's like, yeah, same thing. It didn't fix it. Maybe there's another one, because he's like open another issue. Let's see if this is open act warning. Add warnings. I don't think any of those are it. So hopefully it's closed and someone has an easy fix for this, and I don't gotta keep worrying about it. Okay. Act warnings. Maybe this. Before each. I'm not doing a before each for those though. It's a mock. Material I. These are like specific ones that don't apply to me. And these are back in 2020. Okay, I'm going too far deep. I know there's like a blog that says, yeah, Kent is probably sick of hearing about this too, so he wrote. He made a really good video about it. But this is kind of like refactoring the code and how to code smarter. And I'm sure he's right about my code. It's not the smartest, but I would rather not change all of the components and figure out a way to get the test working just by maybe updating config or something in the test. I'd rather wrap everything in act than change the components. I know that sounds bad, but it's like I'm trying to get this not done, but I'm trying to get more users using it and focus on like short term. And I'm okay doing workarounds for tests. I want to have the tests. I want them to work, and I want to trust them. I want to look forward to writing tests. And if they're not configured the best, or if the code itself isn't amazing, I'm okay with that for now. Okay, so now we're talking about mocks, polling. Okay, so he's talking about specific use case with timers and how to like push it forward. Specific one with custom hooks. Yeah, that's all useful, but I don't think that's gonna get me out of this bind. I'm so reluctant to wrap it in act because I did that before. I wrapped everything in act, and then I updated stuff and the dependencies changed, and then it came right back. And then I removed the act wrapping, and then it was all great, and the tests were more readable, and I didn't have to think about wrapping everything all the time. So this is why I'm not stoked about just uncommenting this and moving on. So let's think. What else could we think about to try to get rid of that warning? without either wrapping everything in act or changing all the components themselves. Because we're waiting for the click, and then that click triggers some event to happen. Let me look at the event. I guess I'm open to changing the component if it's not too painful, but I don't understand enough about what line is actually causing the issue. So let's focus on this someday section one. We're going here at date calcs. 27. It's a forward prop. Set okay, that's helpful. This is from the draft component, I think. Not actually someday section. Let's see. Set draft null. Where's that coming from? Yeah. It could be it could be either of these. Can I do it with the other line too? No. I'm thinking it's the sidebar, because that is the someday section that's on the left sidebar. Okay, it's an effect. That makes sense that it would be. Okay, so it's probably not the click handler or the close handler. It's probably this one here. And so why is it yelling about how I'm not testing the behavior the user would see in the browser? Because, yep. Okay, there it is. So what's wrong with this effect? Why is that a problem with the tests? It's in a custom hook, and when that's triggered, we're checking Redux and whether we're drafting an event or not. It's drafting Redux, draft type. And if it's not the draft, we're kind of the event type we're looking for, then we're closing things. The thing is, like, I like that code. It makes sense to me. Let's see where it's used. Use sidebar effects in the sidebar. That makes sense. And it's up here at the top. Let's just see. I don't think that'll definitely break something in the functionality, but let's see how that affects the test. So that's the troublesome line, and we're just not doing it. So let's see. All right, the whole thing failed. I guess that makes sense. What is that? Yo. Okay. Don't remember doing that. Man. stuff like this, I know why I haven't gotten around to doing this is just because it's a grind. It takes a while to like warm up and wrap my head around what the actual problem is. And even if I don't, especially when I don't know the specific cause of the problem and I have to experiment like this and faff around, it's frustrating. So it kind of just makes sense to, I think with stuff like this, spend a good amount of time on, reserve a good amount of time and just try your best with some boundary, because maybe I don't find anything off the rip and then I just keep spinning and trying it over and over. And that can be a problem too. So, okay, the test passed and now I'm seeing it with draft, and I think the draft component, but not the someday section one. We're just doing it with draft. Main grid on section click. All right, so it's happening with just other components. I'm coming around to just maybe wrapping it, because changing these components, oh, now it's up to Sunday section. Probably a different area of it is drafting. It's not as simple as just doing my effects differently. That's become clear. All right. Did I fix the warning? No, definitely not. But I feel like I got more clear on what the problem is. And I'm open to doing the thing I said I didn't want to do, which is this. So progress, I guess. Honestly, I don't know, because I wrap it all in act everywhere, and then all the tests pass, but like all the tests are already passing. So is that even a big improvement? Is that worth my time? I'm going to think on it. We'll see if this gets prioritized again. But usually I do this at the start. I'm doing it at the end now. The whole thing I'm talking about is this app, Compass Calendar, which is open sourced on GitHub. So if you got this far and you know what's going on, at least a little bit, you can understand what I'm talking about. You can get involved. We got some open issues, some good ones for first-time contributors. I, for better or worse, am not capable of letting this thing die. So I keep carving out time and keep working on it. I'm not charging for it. No one's using it like religiously or like has their life built around it, but I'm building it for me, man. I need this app, and the spirit of it I find really inspiring. So I won't ramble about it, but the point is, if you want to get involved, you definitely can. Someone already has. Azar, shout out. And there's plenty of work, and I can scope it so it's easy, or if you want a challenge, I could give you the tough stuff. Anyway, the next stream is next week, and I'll see you